Y'all should be able to hear me because of this anyway. Damn, look at the real timeness. Told y'all we gonna fuck around and try shit out at different frame rates, but god damn, that's crazy. That shit looking crazy, nigga. second option to a bitch. mics at? Both of them missing a suspect. Let me just say that. Here we go, one. Definitely gotta figure out where the other one is at for sure, but in case of getting this done. Alright, nigga went all around the room and back. But yeah, I was gonna speak on a few things. I kinda lost my train of thought, but we more or less here to test this out, test this 50 frames per second or whatever while I'm talking about what I'm talking about. Did I have that on or off while I was doing this? But yeah, niggas had their first win today, and first game today, first win of my assistant coaching career, and
one of the main things I was thinking about is just how to teach and instruct and translate a lot of these concepts to the kids, and able to in order to be able to instruct them. And a lot of that has to do with assessing and evaluating, not only where they're at, but why it is that they're at where they're at, and the ways and the methods in which the game is played today. You know what I'm saying? So I preach all the time that it's the um, how do you want to say? It's the, I don't know, however you want to say it, the element in which the interface in which they, or whatever synonym or term you want to use, the interface in which they experience the game is very different now. As you know, they pretty much have different reference points than we had growing up. You know what I'm saying? Especially my generation. When I say we, you know what I'm saying? Born in mid to late '90s. You know what I'm saying? Grew up in the after effects of Jordan. You know what I'm saying? The beginning of the Shaq and Kobe era, all the way to LeBron entering the league, the Nash. You know, kind of going from the '90s style ball to more the Euro integrated concepts that came with Steve Nash, and still having that battle with the half court offenses and stuff. And so it's kind of ironic. Like I always say, the '04 Pistons was the team that changed my mindset about strategy and playing half court. That I actually was able to watch with my eyes, like them out execute the Lakers and play like a full team game. And for me to be coaching with somebody that actually was able to be an iteration of that team in '05, Coach, Devin Brown, you know what I'm saying, the champion NBA Spur, however you want to call it. But just that being said, me taking this opportunity, or having this opportunity, should I say, to um, like, what's the term I want to use? Like, learn from him and experience these things, adopt and envelop, just take in and receive a lot of the lessons in game, he had just from playing with guys like Tim Duncan under Coach Pop and playing with Tony Parker and things. He was talking about Tony Parker today, and I think it's so funny because I was somebody I definitely patterned my game after, and niggas said I played like, because I wasn't a traditional jump shooter, you know what I'm saying, but I could score, you know what I'm saying. So let's see, let me go back to this. The fuck? Oh yeah, see, I don't think it was ever a point where we had this off, but yeah, I just think it's crazy though, because this generation, like the youth, like the way they interact with basketball is completely different. You know what I'm saying? You got them dealing with a lot of the stuff that they learn is coming through video games and stuff like that. So it's like we almost actually have to break the game down, is really what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Like down to the fundamentals, explain everything. Like, it's like they have a problem understanding that the game is best played simple, and it's just like I say, because of the way that they've enveloped the game, like the way they received the game. So it's like everything to them is an element or a reflection of the actual complication. And I say advancement in a bad way, like the complication of the game, of where you got these guys doing advanced moves because they're copying the highlights of a player. And it kind of, you know, it started before my generation, but my generation was really bad. Like, I grew up during the N1 era, so it was like we copied moves and we tried to emulate like events instead of like understanding the fundamentals of the game. And so I think now, especially with the video games, now a lot of these kids are, their first access to basketball is actually through playing 2K and things like that. So it's like it enforces and reinforces the individual element of basketball, which is crazy because in previous eras and in the right systems in the right way, you only really so few offensive players should have the unmitigated freedom to just do whatever they want to do. But like I say, at the end of the day, this is the way they're exchanging like and receiving basketball, like they're encountering basketball. So it's like you damn near have to break everything down to the decimal, you know. And so I think even me with my limited experience just coming from an era where we played, I think it's more about taking the terminology and breaking everything back down to common sense. And I think it's like going back in the past to me. Like, I feel like the more players that can understand to simplify the game, because that's the strategic element, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's an up and down game as is soccer. So it's like the team that can exert the least amount of, the team that can apply their strategy the most efficiently, meaning, you know, max production and value per exertion of energy is going to win. So I know that's like an odd way to put it, but that's just the element of in strategy of team sports, whether it's hockey or whatever. Anywhere you got to go offense to defense. So, you know, shit, even in tennis or boxing, you know what I'm saying? You got to outscore the opponent, and the only way to do that is to be efficient with, you know, your technique and your tactics. So, I think everything is shifting back to the elements that were present when we, you know, when I was growing up, like early 2000s, you know, like I played ball during the mid 2000s, obviously, but it was like an expansion of, you know, the early 2000s, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's fundamentally when I started learning basketball, you know, 2000 to 2006. Those was my formative years. Everything after that was like the advancement of my game as I moved into middle school and high school. So essentially, like, I think dealing with this group and dealing with this age group is going to come down to like assisting in implementing a lot of these elements, you know what I'm saying, and being able to articulate these things and demonstrate. And, you know, we got the advent of film, just articulation, being able to demonstrate and create different concepts to, you know, express and communicate these ideas. So I think even scouting and teaching and all of these things is evolving into the digital age, where you want to use as many aids and assistants that you can, and the ones that get it, just get it. But I mean, it's crazy though. I think it's just going to come back down to just simple stuff like the jump stop, fucking getting to the elbow, space management, like managing, planning the half court. Like, I think that's going to be my element of dealing with the kids. So I just think a lot of the essential introductory elementary elements are what is missing in this era for sure, because you have the moves, right? A lot of the moves that we see are created and designed to work out of a certain structure. So if you study Kobe Bryant, he played in a triangle. So all his movements and decisions were predicated on him operating within a certain framework. And I think now the eradication of that framework has happened. And, you know, it could be good, it could be bad. Like, I don't know. I think, you know, the coded way to say it is I think offenses in the NBA have been optimized or redesigned in order to incorporate the European player and their style of movement, which relies less on athleticism and more on team schematics and, you know, use of passes, you know, and different things like that, different sets. So, I mean, it is what it is, because, I mean, it's, if the less athletic players can do it, just imagine if the athletic players, you know, more coded language could do it. So, all in all, I think that's all I got to say.